Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And we've got our first iteration of Speed Battle in like a year and a half or something like that. This does not come around very often, so not a lot of players are going to know what to do, except, the stage has been out for a couple days now. But essentially, it is just a highly turn-limited battle which can't scale up in difficulty. We're going to go into the Inferno fight. And Velzard has 537,000 HP, she nerfs greens, she changes all your orbs to greens, and she can bind and can guard. Now, 537k, even type neutral, is not a lot of HP, especially if you can use almost any team, EX included. So, that I think might not be too big of an issue. There are some missions. Clear it with 2 characters with an initial rarity of 4-star or less. They're missing a star here. Win it 4 turns or less 3 times, and then just clear it once. There are some other missions for the lower difficulty. There was, clear it with 4-star units, clear it 3 times. And you get these speed crystals, right? And you can take them into the speed battle shop. And there's actually a number of things in here that are good. We've got shard, 1 shard. That's fine for players. We've got 5 platinum hammers. 5 platinum hammers. This should be the first thing that everybody buys, and then gold hammers if you need them. But 5 platinum hammers essentially for free? I mean, not free, but certainly there are missions as well. That's a big time pickup. You've got some EX rocks here, which are good for endgame players. Tower stamina, especially if you want to grind some enchantments. The ores I would stay away from. I would stay away from these because they're farmable. So I honestly would just pick up the gold, platinum hammers, the shard, and then the EX rocks, and then the tower potions. Everything else I would leave it. But, it is dependent on what your box looks like. But let's go ahead and take our first team in here that I know is going to win. It's going to be a New Year's Blessing team. We're going to bring free-to-play Light Shinsha and free-to-play Fire Hero as our 2 4-star characters, because they start at 4-star. Diablo, even though he's free to play, starts at 5 stars, so he does not count for that mission. And then we've got Rimuru and Shinsha, because they're both single target attackers. And I know Rimuru does about 300k on this team, so we're going to need another ult to follow up. So let me go ahead and gear them up, and then we'll jump in. Alright, so unfortunately, the starting hand is pretty whack. It's a 2-2-2 spread, evenly split between the units. Unless you're running a Tempest Elite team, which we will certainly try, this is pretty ass, to be perfectly honest with you. So we're going to bring Rimuru in for Shinsha, and then we will bring Shinsha in for Hero, and we'll just go ahead and send these 2 Diablo orbs, and just get them out. That way we have a guaranteed 3 Rimuru orbs, and we can then just give them away. So, or, I mean, we could rainbow them? No, let's do this. Let's give away. Let's actually just rainbow them anyways. So giveaway to Rimuru. That's not a giveaway, but this should still work out fairly well. Okay, yeah, we can make that work. So let's just do this. It gives us double protector, gives us max points. It gets us almost a Rimuru ult and almost a Shinsha ult, and that's pretty much what we're gonna need. And as long as we can clear this in 4 turns, we're gonna be looking fine. We're not going to be able to take advantage of the crit resistance down skill, but oh well. Oh, actually, that should work quite well. So let's swap the ult away. Let's go ahead and actually use the buff again for the New Year's orbs. We'll use SHION now. That'll give us guaranteed crits, and hopefully this is enough to get us 2 EX ults. It is perfect, plus maximum points. That's what we're really, really looking for here. Again, we're not going to be able to take advantage of the crit resistance down on the nuke turn, but we now have enough points to use the Shinsha buff, the Rimuru buff, and just go ahead and big-time nuke. So there's the full hand of greens on turn 4. So not much we can really do about that, unfortunately. Let's bring Light Shinsha in now. She will give us a small light attack buff for Rimuru, which will help him do more damage. We'll do his attack buff. The weakness strike doesn't matter because we are type neutral. And then we'll do the physical ult damage and crit damage skill. And then, unfortunately, we can't fully orb change this into a full 6 send, so we're just going to have 5 orbs here. But we're going to have, some decent damage. So Shinsha does not do anything on her ult, so we'll send her, Rimuru, Shinsha, Rimuru. This should kill. And I don't get to see the Shinsha's ult very often, so we're going to watch it. But, I mean, the Year's team is definitely good for burst damage, regardless. Even though it's type neutral, we're still going to do pretty good. So 158 there, Rimuru with his attack buff and everything. I don't need to watch this. We see it all the time. 346. There we go. That works out very, very well. And you don't even need Milim. Diablo's free. Rimuru's featured on a banner right now. 3 banners, technically. Actually, this entire team is featured on a banner, the ticket banner. So if you manage to pull them, you can definitely get this done. Now let's come back with a blue-focused Tempest Elite team, which I know a lot of people didn't summon for, but I'm going to show it anyway. Oh, and here we go. So I remember during the content preview, there was a notification that said, if you clear Inferno, you will unlock something new. And by clearing the following chapters, Turbo Battle has been unlocked. Turbo Battle. So, boom. So now we have Speed Battle, and we have Turbo Battle, which has a move out limit. What is the move out limit? No EXs. Okay, well, today's video is focusing on the Inferno stage of this Speed Battle. We'll do a separate video for Turbo Battle. So let's build that team now. Alright, next up is the Tempest Elite team. We again have 2 4-star characters in both Rimuru and Geld. They're both blue orb changers, so that works out very well. We've got Shuna with Wind Lumi, so we're going to start with 36 skill points, which means that we can convert the entire starting hand away into blues, because we'll just bring Rimuru in. Are you on Tempest Elite? No, you're not. Okay, so yeah, we have to bring Fire Rimuru in, and then we can full convert and not have to worry about it. This will work out fairly well. Both Rimuru and Benimaru are single target alts. We'll get EX alts from Trainee, so yeah. Alright, Rimuru for Rimuru, and the full convert with Shuna. Boom, excellent. And now we just gotta work on getting alts, which Trainee will definitely help us rush that. 600 damage. Again, no weakness strike is going to work here, but Pierce works, the physical buff works, the burn works. That's an interesting hand. Sure, we can just do it again. Why not? So we'll do that. We do have the burn ability, which we will use a non-EX team for this. We'll use the Fire 2.0 team. It's fairly old. It should be able to do it. And we do have the follow-up orbs here. Ooh, not quite enough for the EX ult. Okay, this doesn't do anything for... That's weakness strike. So, greater burn? Yeah, sure, why not? How long does this, 2 turns? Yeah. Let's put some greater burn on, and it'll work for the follow-up orbs. So, cool, 1, 2, okay. Counter. I don't have an ult swapper here, though, so we're going to have to rush the ult on him and then do it again for Benimaru, probably. Unless Shuna has a higher attack stack. 18k right there. Alright, cool. So we'll give Rimuru the final ult, or the final gauge for his ult. We'll get him out of here, and we'll bring in, yeah, Water Rimuru. And we'll use his convert, boom, and then we'll actually bring in Geld for his convert, and that gets us a full hand. This should get us Benimaru's ult as well, which is good. Let's see, who has a higher attack stat? 14-2? 13-9. Okay, so actually we can give away all the orbs to Benimaru and work on him, getting him as close to an EX ult as possible. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Okay, well, not quite. We still have 2 more turns after this to do it. Not a big deal. The mission is to clear within 4 turns, which I'm fairly certain we can do, especially with this chip damage on the burns. Okay, cool. Alright, there's an 80-point seal, which is why you don't really want to bring stacking teams into this fight. It's a speed battle for speed teams. You know, that's the whole friggin' point. So, let's bring you in here for Geld, because you're the only one with an orb. And then we'll do buff, buff, and buff. And I feel like this should do it. You know, she doesn't have that much HP. We do have an EX ult. We'll put some more follow-up orbs on here. her. And we will have a 6th send, so I mean, that is something. Benimaru doesn't have an alt effect, so we'll just do this. And we also have no Rimuru orbs, which is pretty unfortunate. Alright, let's see Benimaru. 68,000. Rimuru. 280 something. 284. Alright, so there we go. We didn't even need the follow-ups. It is what it is. Burst team works just fine. Let's come back. Alright, next up is Exalted Champions. We're using 2 4-star characters in both Eren and Isis. The enemy Velzard debuffs greens by 70%, which is pretty significant. So if you don't need to use the 2 4-stars, I would just bring Veldora, and you could offset that completely. But Isis is going to at least do 50, plus the protection gauge on Green Charm will put us at 90% protection gauge for greens, which will be nice. Rain is going to give us that small magic buff. Guy will be able to rush our alts here for these 2 characters, and then Milim obviously has her 100% alt damage because her 100% weakness doesn't matter here. This team should be able to do it. It's just, I don't know if it'll be do it on turn 4 or it'll be turn 5. Alright, not a super great starting hand, unfortunately. We're just going to do this. We're going to send, I think, these Milim orbs. And then Protection Gauge will kick in, and then... yeah, I think we can get it here. Yeah, so we'll take Eren out for Guy. And we will send these 3. Boom, we got 83 points, so we'll have 113 now. We'll be able to rush the Milim and Guy alt here. So boom. Alright, and then we can use the... actually, both Isis and Rain have the same 50% buff, so that's very nice. The crit resistance down doesn't really mean anything because we're not critting with this team. We'll just go ahead and leave it up here, and we'll just run it as is. So next turn, we're going to have a lot of gauge going on. Unfortunately, I can't really rush an alt the second time. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 gets us almost another. But we should get it because of the protection trait that Blanc is going to give us underneath Guy. So that'll be nice. Anything else I can use here to offset that? Not really. Okay. Okay, cheeky counter, why not? Next turn we can rush the alt, and we can use the magic buff early with Rain. That way we get the... actually, will we get the full 40%? I don't actually know. Let's find out. No, we're not going to get it. So we're going to get binded, though, which is kind of unfortunate. What if we just do this? I think... you know what? I think it's fine, actually. We'll just rush the alt. We'll just send these greens. We'll leave these 2 up here. We haven't used anything yet, right? We haven't used the synergy or magic or personal buff. So yeah, this will get us all 3 alts. Rain is a primal demon, so she'll get the synergy buff. And she's binded anyway. Okay, well, I think we're good here. Yeah, there's the EX alt. So personal buff, synergy, magic. Boom. Boom. And boom. So we've got quite a bit of things going here. Now we have the extra Drago effect plus the element buff, and I think we're pretty much good here now. So Guy does 136. Rain won't do that much. 98k on a Pierce. Milim, 452. Because she's got the extra 100% personal alt buff, and she's got a pretty good claw with synergy power on it. So even though greens are nerfed, you can run the Exalted Champion team, even with 2 4-stars who literally did absolutely nothing on this team. Like, they didn't do jack crap on this team. They're here just because we needed 2 4-stars. So that works out fairly well. Alright, the final team is going to be a non-EX character team, you know, minus the support right down here. But we've got Old Fire Guy, Christmas Shizu, Free-to-Play Hero, Benimaru, and Violet. And so we're hoping that between the crits and the pierces and the fire buff and the alt buff and the burn damage, we can actually take this Velzard out in 5 turns. And if it can, then we'll take it into turbo battle as well for the next video. But, you know, in theory, this should work. Just like every other team in theory should work. Alright, I don't actually know how this is going to work out, to be perfectly honest with you. We'll send the blues, try and get as much protection gauge as possible. Okay, we got greens, it's just that... I mean, we could use Benimaru's orb change here. I really don't want to. If we just send these, it'll give us a Toa. You know what? Let's go ahead and use it. Let's get some burn on here, just for some extra damage. It won't do a lot, but it is something. There we go. 14 points back. We've got 40 when we use Toa, so we'll be at 70-ish. And 1,800 damage. Awesome. So... let's go ahead and... so we're going to have 72 points. Let's instant damage with the burn, or in Benimaru, and buff the orange damage. We'll use Toa, change this entire hand. This will get us Violet's ult, and almost a Benimaru ult. That'll be good. And then we'll use Bamba, da-da-da. Excellent. Another stack of burn on, and we'll go ahead and send this. This will get Violet's ult, then we can send her away. Hopefully she doesn't get locked. That would be really unfortunate if she does. Alright, 45k is a lot of damage right there. 50k, there's the seal. Alright, there's the full hand of green. Actually, we can take you out of here. Yeah, we can do that. And then we could use Benimaru's orb change again. And just put another stack of burn on. I think that's what we will do. It's just that we're not going to get another Toa, I don't think, off of this. Maybe, if this doesn't work out, we should put the protection gauge on green charm instead. Yeah. We'll have enough to use one of the big buffs, so probably the Shizu buff, more than anything. Does Benimaru get his ult here? He does. Alright. Oh, Hero was binded. It's actually less than ideal. Okay, well, change of plan. We're gonna use Guy's buff, because I wanted to buff both Violet and Hero, or Benimaru, because they're single targets. Not gonna be a way to do that now. So we'll use Guy, and we will use his ult buff ability. So 50%. The crit resistance down will matter for Violet, because she has that. And... damn, I was really hoping we'd have 5 more points. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, let's see if this works. If it doesn't, we'll try it again. So Benimaru... 36,000. Violet, with a lot of buffs. 111. Follow. Guarded that, and then the burn 61k. So okay, so we need a bit more there. We can definitely do this. We just need to change, I think, the charm up. So we'll come back. Alright, we're back on turn 4. We've got 2 stacks of burn. Unfortunately, we don't have an incoming green or even an orange. So it does hamper us. But 5 greens will still get us a Toa right there, which is exactly what we do need. So I think we have to preserve the buffs on Violet, though. So let's go ahead and bring in Guy. We'll send these orbs. We'll be maxed out. And then, if anything, we'll just swap Benimaru away. It's just, I think... who gets swapped, actually? Or who gets binded? Alright, Benimaru gets binded. That's actually not the end of the world, because we can still do the alt buff with Guy here. Boom. And then we'll bring Violet in for Guy. And then we'll use Toa. That'll give us another 40 skill points. Change the entire hand. And then we can use her buff. Boom. And then we can get her out of here. And, ooh. Do we burn again? Or do we send them all to Violet? I think we burn. I think that's going to be much more impactful. It's unfortunate that we didn't have the orb change with Benimaru last turn. I would have loved to have 3 stacks there. It is what it is. Hopefully this does enough with the extra fire buff now. 197, that should be plenty right there, especially with a 200% Violet Orb. Yeah, okay, she's dead. 93k. Alright, so there we go. Violet is skill fused, so she gets an extra 10% attack on her burn skill, so she's at 30% instead of 20. Obviously, she is also level 120, so, this team might not be viable for everybody, but it's an old team, and this is not the limited stage, so just use an EX team. Hopefully this video gave you some ideas. Let me know in the comments if you have any other team builds that were able to do it. That way other people can see that. But that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.